We are now becoming Venezuela and on the way to Castro's Cuba. And all of you smart liberals sitting up there on your high horses, who is going to pay for the fraud, waste, and corruption called Obamacare? Do you have any idea what this is going to cost you? You haven't any idea. All you think is that it's a good thing because Obama wanted it. Well, let me tell you something else. Your life is over as you know it. America is over as you know it. Listen to what this fool, Roberts, on the Supreme Court said today. Here is what he said. He said that it is a tax. He said it's a tax, but it wasn't written as a tax. So if it wasn't written as a tax, how could he say it was a taxation that he was passing? It was clearly in the Commerce Clause. Listen to what Roberts wrote. He said, Roberts is the reason this happened. Roberts is on medication, and we're going to prove it on the show today. But the fact of the matter is, by forcing people to buy insurance, whether they want to or not, it will bankrupt America permanently. Who will pay for this? Who is going to pay for the fraud, the waste, and the corruption that is called Obamacare? You're telling me that they're going to control it? You mean the very same people who won't control the Medicare fraud, the Medicare mills that I've been pointing out on this show? Try the Medicare mills in San Francisco, and they won't even look at those. You're telling me they're not going to have fraud, waste, and corruption in this? You're crazy. Let me tell you something else. This is a national health care system. This is Castro care. This is what every communist dreams of. This is what every socialist dreams of. This is the pie in the sky that they all dream of, and he did it. And the reason Roberts voted with the psychotic Ginsburg, the incompetent at any speed because they don't have the IQ for it, Sotomayor and Kagan, put in there simply to be kangaroos on the kangaroo court. The reason Roberts did this is anyone's guess. So I'll ask you this. Here's the first question of the day, and no one can answer it. Do you think Roberts is compromised because the Chicago machine has something on him? Or, as I think, it is his medication that has affected his cognition? On the way to the radio station today, I stopped off at the University of California Medical Center and visited a world-famous neurologist who I know. And we talked about Obamacare. He said to me, check out Roberts' history with epilepsy. I said, what does that have to do with his vote today? He said, Michael, he said his cognition is affected by his epilepsy medicine. He said, the New York Times, he said, find the original article from the New York Times back in 2007 after Roberts was appointed. I said, well, why? He said, because after Roberts had a seizure, they implied in the New York Times that his medication for his seizure disorder will cloud his judgment and affect his cognition. They were afraid, in other words, that he would be too conservative. Little did they know that he would be one of them. You'll notice today there was no talk about Roberts' cognitive dissonance nor Roberts' cognitive disorder. Now that Obama has shown himself to have absolute power, what do you fear the dictator might do next? Well, there's the First, Second, Third, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, Ninth Amendments to deal with, aren't there? First Amendment, speech, religion. He hasn't meddled with that yet, has he? But he has a model for that. The model is Canada, the European Union, and the UK, where there is no First Amendment. Expect changes with regard to freedom of speech. Second Amendment, the big one, right to bear arms. Mark my words. Just as I told you on Tuesday, he would do this on Thursday, and I was right. Mark my words. When this man is reelected in the next election, which he will be, as sure as I'm standing here, you could see it in Romney's face. You can hear it in Romney's reactions today. You could see it in the lackluster, do-nothing Republican Congress. When this man is reelected, he will take out the Second Amendment as sure as I'm standing here, because that's what liberals have wanted to do for well over 60 years.